everyone, and welcome back to JB Sports. It's been a while since we've been here on the channel, but we're back, and we're back with something a little bit different. It's time for some Sky Bet Championship as we head to Pride Park as Derby County take on West Bromwich Albion. Of course, in the past couple of games, West Brom have really fell actually. 4 losses in the past 4, and of course one of them being a 5-0 bashing at home against Norwich City, and Derby County have had 2 wins in the last 5. So it's a big match between the two sides as kick-off is just about getting underway. We'll head over to the main screen as I've just got to get everything set up correctly. Of course, you can see your lineups on the screen as we have for Derby County. It's Swiddle, Zetterstrom in goal with Ward, Langus, Bath and Elder the back 4. We've got Travis and Ozo in the middle with Brereton, Diaz, Bobby Clark, Ryan Brewster and then Patrick Agumang up front. They've made 5 changes since their last game, of course. One of the big ones being Zetterstrom back in the side in goal. And then for West Bromwich Albion, a couple of changes as well, but many of them are the same player, just moving around in position. They are yet again going for what they went for last time out with a 5-4-1. But we are getting underway here now at Pride Park. And it will be kick-off here for Derby County as they pass it back over to the halfway line. And of course, West Brom have been really poor recently. It's not been their season at all. Of course, bringing in new manager Ramsey, and that as well hasn't gone too well for him. As I am just trying to get the statistics up on screen, but it doesn't want to play ball at the moment. So we're going to just try and quickly update that. There we go. But of course, a big hello to everybody in the chat. It's very brand new football to this channel, so it's just about trying to work everything out. Yes, there we are. The stats should pop up now. They were being a little bit naughty with me earlier on. I was going to quickly copy that new link in and try it all over again. And so we'll quickly just pop off the cameras for a moment while I'll just try and sort this out quickly. It doesn't want to work, unfortunately. We'll try again. Oh, there we go. We're getting somewhere. There we are. Just going to quickly drag them down a little bit. There we have it. The stats are on screen. They should update as the game goes on, I'm hoping. But, of course, we've already had a corner for West Brom in this one. And, of course, that led to nothing. But as I was saying earlier on, it's not been West Brom season at all, of course. Bringing in Eric Ramsey after the sacking of Ryan Mason. Of course, it started out with a 3-2 loss at Middlesbrough, which isn't too bad considering they did bring it back 2-2. But then, of course, at home to Norwich, they did get bashed 5-0. And I think that was their biggest loss ever at home, or at least in this division, which is not something you want to have as your first home game with a brand new club. But looking at things here, very good start here for Derby. They've controlled that possession nice and early on, just sitting on the halfway line here. As the ball does go forward here for Derby, and it does go over the goal line, and of course that will just be a free kick here. Sorry, a goal kick here for West Brom, who of course are just looking to try and get something to work here. I think even if they can get a draw, they would be happy with what's going on at the moment. Because, of course, they do have a new goalkeeper as well. Max O'Leary jumping into the side, of course, a brand new signing from Bristol City. So we'll see what he can do, of course, in replacement of Josh Griffiths, as it's sent forward here. And West Brom here with a good chance, just on this right-hand side on the wing. Ball into the area, gets recouped there. And it goes out of play. Will be another corner here for West Brom. So they've had less of the ball, but have been very, very aggressive up front when they do have it. So we'll see now what West Brom can do here. Corner will be taken just on the near side here. And I believe that will be Styles taking this one. So we'll see what he can do here with this. Players heading into the box here. Of course, a big moment here for Zettertron to hold this one early into the box. It's sent in there by Grant, and it does go back, and now Derby are on the attack, but down goes Clark. So referee blowing the whistle, and I believe bringing out a yellow card there. Of course, that could have been a really big moment for Derby County to go forward, and Carlin Grant with his third yellow card of the season. And we'll just see now if we can get the timeline to work, but I don't think it will do, so I think we'll just leave the lineups on there for now. And we'll just take off the ones at the bottom. There we go. There we have it. We'll get that changed and sorted out for next time. My mic's robotic with the filter. Oh dear. Let me have a quick look at why it's doing that, because it shouldn't be. Very robotic. I'll quickly just change it. Re-plug it back in. Now, is that any better, is the question. Let's have a quick look. Is it saying? Well, this is not a great start at all, is it, guys? Audio. Now that might be better. I've changed it to what it should be. Pop that like that. Now, how does that sound? That should be better. What is going on here? If I re-plug everything back in.
Now, let's have a look. Of course, luckily we have got a bit of stoppage time here. Really deep. Now I know to fix that, hang on. And then we will be getting somewhere. Just quickly change my sound settings. Then we'll be good to go.
Finally, there is a player down here for West Bromwich Albion. Not quite sure who it is at the moment. We'll have a quick look once we can get eyes on them. But a very equal start here between the two teams. And it was Colin Grant who was down there. But he's back up and running. We'll just be standing on the sidelines for a moment to get himself recouped, and then we'll get back under play here. We are in the 7th minute as Derby are nil and West Bromwich Albion nil as well. Oh, and the clock. Oh, the clock. Hang on. Do you know what? I know I forget something. There we go. The clock is perfect. There we are. Right, so Colin Grant is off. There has been a change here for West Brom. They have made an early substitution. And that is going to be Sam Elling Jr., who did start in the last game, but of course did get put onto the bench for this one. And that is not good. Colin Grant off, of course, has played most games this season for West Brom, has scored a couple of goals as well. Not really the start he would have wanted here. And West Brom forced to make a change early on. Here's a free kick with Derby into the area. Looks to go forward, still with Derby. Ball goes out of play. And that will be a goal kick here for West Bromwich Albion. It was a great ball in initially, but did go a little bit too far there by, I believe, Ryan Brewster. And, of course, out of play for a goal kick. As we are into the 9th minute of play, still Derby nil, West Bromwich Albion nil. And let's see here what West Bromwich are going to do. They are going to send the ball long here, just inside the Derby half. on towards Hegabo. And this is a brilliant chance now for West Bromwich Albion. It's forward onto the near side. Looking to switch the ball into the box. Looks to find Hegabo. Doesn't, and it's a save there by Zetterstrom. And it was Malumbi with the chance there. It was a great ball just onto the edge of the penalty area. And it was nearly a chance for him to go in and get the early lead here for West Brom. A great ball in initially. And it was a shot on goal, but not enough power for it to hit the back of the net. But a great early chance there for West Brom. It's just sitting here with the Derby back four. Travis is in a midfield role, but does tend to drift back a little bit more. And just looking for Derby now to try and go forward here. With Elder. Looks to try and find Agyemang, but can't go anywhere with it. And it goes back to Max O'Leary, who now sends the ball long through the middle, looking to try and find Orga Hegabo. Doesn't find Hegabo, instead gets collected by one of the Derby players. The ball goes high in the air, and it goes out of play. About 10 yards into the Derby County half, and it will be a throw-in here for West Brom. It'll be Isaac Price here with the ball. Decides to give it to somebody else. And that will be Bielik with the throw-in. Of course, recently signing from Birmingham City to West Bromwich Albion, but hasn't had the best reception here to start off his time here with the Baggies. So looking just to try and get himself back up to what we know he can do. As Bielik now sends the ball across the West Bromwich Albion defence. On the left now with Styles. Finds Malumbi here. And West Brom just trying to stay calm with the ball. Goes forward into the centre circle now with Orna Hegabo. So it's nice to see Hegabo here dropping a little bit deeper. And the ball goes back again with West Brom, and they're just very comfortable now, and this is what they need. They can't be taking big risks and potentially losing out early on as ball goes back to the goalkeeper. O'Leary now sends it far down the near side. Looking for Hegabo, but it doesn't find Hegabo. It does find somebody else as it's thrown forward now with West Brom. Malumbi now looking to go forward. Styles waiting on the far side. Just looking to try and find Price here. Illing Jr. as well, just trying to run forward and make a dart. Hegabo just at the front of that Derby defence. West Brom still with the ball on the far side. Looking to try and go even further forward, but they have to drop back here. Cabell looks to go forward on the far side still. West Brom with the ball. Finds Bielik now. Oh no, just a missed pass nearly, but they still hold it. And it goes back to O'Leary. So we are now heading into the 13th minute, and no real big chances for any team here in this one. As the ball gets sent forward by O'Leary, but a little bit too far, and it will go out just adjacent to the penalty area. So it will be a throw in here for Derby. Of course, I think Ramsey won't be too disappointed with the first 12 minutes here, because they have looked a lot stronger than they did in the past couple of games. So of course, it would be great to get off to winning ways here, especially against Derby, who are probably going to be a playoff contender this season. There's the ball still with Derby, with West Brom here on the far side. It goes back towards Travis, and now Derby on the far side have a big chance to run forward here. On the wing, but it gets displaced there by Illing Jr. Now forward in towards Orne Hegabo, sends it into Illing Jr. again. Oh, and it was a bit of a dodgy cross there, and it was just misangled and goes out of play. But it was a great chance there for West Brom to do something. Oh, and it wasn't off of Illing Jr., sorry. I can't quite see who it was off there, but not good at all there for West Brom. They had a big chance and unfortunately blew it away very quickly. So Middle, Zetterstrom sends the ball down for Derby, but it does go back to the West Bromwich defence. And now with Styles on the far side, halfway into their own half. Looks to send the ball forward, and it goes to absolutely nobody now. So Derby recoup it. And yet again look to find a way forward. It goes to Ozzo. Back to Bath. Now with Elder on the near side, just on the left-hand side for Derby, that is. So now look to push forward. Brewster looking to try and connect with somebody. Oh, a bit of contact there, and still in play though on the near side. Ball nearly went out, and Derby, of course, in the last 5 or 10 minutes, haven't really had much of the ball. They've been more the side looking to counter-attack here rather than control possession and move forward. They have now just got a little bit of control. They're still playing with that back line. Looking to find Ward here to push forward. Into the middle here for Derby. Bobby Clark. Back out wide on the far side. Now with Travis. Into Ozzo. And still here in the West Bromwich Albion half. Derby just looking to try and just pave a way forward. And it goes back in towards the centre circle here with Derby. Switches it to the near side with Elder. Looking to go forward, making the full run here. Looking to try and cross the ball into the box. He goes down. And it will be a throw-in for Albion. No, it won't be. Referee changes his mind and it will be a throw-in for Derby. Now, of course, this is a big chance for them to try and go 1-0 up here. Of course, it looks like it will be a throw-in. And it will be Elder taking this one. There's a player just getting into the box now. Got Bielik just on the near post. Looking to defend this one. And Elder sends it into the area. Now, does it collide with a Derby head? It does find the feet of Angimang, but goes back here still with Derby as it goes hard by Hegabo. And still in the possession of Derby County on the far side now with Travis. Looks to send it long, but instead it collected by West Bromwich Albion. Forward by Bielik into Hegabo. Now this is a big chance if players can get forward here. It's here with Ealing Jr. And still going forward here with West Brom. Ealing Jr. looking for a run, but it's with Bielik now, who sends it all the way back towards Phillips and Campbell. Great ball into Hegabo again, who's had to drop deep. And it will be a free kick the way of West Brom. It was, I think, Bath there just getting a little bit too aggressive with Orna Hegabo. And, of course, that will be a free kick here. Just inside the Derby County half on the near side. Big chance here for Isaac Price to launch the ball forward into the box here and give West Bromwich Albion a chance. And just a bit of discussion here between a couple of the players of Derby. Referee blows his whistle. Forward here with Price, onto the far side of the penalty area, headed in, finds Ealing Jr., still looking to battle for it, and it's sent out by Elder, and it is a corner again for West Brom. That's going to be their, I think, second corner of the game here. And we can see West Brom have been very clinical up front and have forced Derby to send the ball out multiple times. And it will be Johnston taking the ball into the area. Big chance here for West Brom. Players all scrambling around. Ball into the penalty area. It goes just past goal. A big chance there for West Brom to go ahead. It was millimetres wide of the goal at the near post. And I think that was off the head of, I think it was George Campbell. And Zetterstrom was nowhere near it, so if that was on target, that would have been going in. Big chance gone for West Brom, and big relief for Derby County, as we are now into the 19th minute. So pretty much halfway through this first half, and it is still 0-0 between the two sides. And a fun fact as well, the last time that West Brom won here at Pride Park was in 2003, which was 20 games ago. So it seems like this could be a bit of a bogey ground for West Brom. There's Bielik now. We'll be taking the free kick here for West Brom, just inside their own half. About 20 yards in. And the West Brom players getting forward. Bielik leaves it, and it will go to Max O'Leary. So O'Leary here, just running forward, will take the free kick here. And the Baggies will just look to try and push forward. And that's what they're focusing on here, I think. A lot of set-piece play. Relying on free kicks, corners, just to try and just get the ball into the box, because they have got quite a few tall players up front. Into the area, Hegebo collects. On the edge of the area, still with Hegebo. Passes it back to Styles. Looks to try and find Hegebo again. It's still on the far side now, just near the halfway line here. In West Brom's possession. Ball gets sent over towards Campbell and Bielik now. In the centre circle, and Derby looking to press. Aguimag looking to go forward here. Still in possession with Derby. It was Styles that went down there after a push from Patrick Aguimag, but that would have been as well a free kick given here to West Brom. And of course, yet again, it just shows how quickly it is for another team just to press in and force an issue. And I think if there wasn't the push there from Aguimag, it could have been a big possibility for them to retake the ball and have a big chance on goal. Of course, a big welcome into everybody in the chat. If there's a few issues with the stream, I am sorry. It's our first time in, I think, in a very long time actually streaming football here on JB Sports. So, of course, a big welcome into everybody. And the first couple of streams are just kind of testing things out and seeing what really works. Of course, I've had limited preparation as well for this match. Normally, I'd have about 3 or 4 pages of notes. I've just got a couple with the squads and a couple of key facts. So, excuse me if my knowledge is a little bit limited. There was a Derby player down as well there. And a telling off too. I think it was actually on West Brom. No, it was Brereton Diaz there that sent one of the West Bromwich players down. So Brereton Diaz out in a little bit of trouble, but free kick here just on the edge of the centre circle in the Derby half. So we'll see what West Brom can do here. Yet again, looking just to send the ball into the area. They've got a couple of heavy, tall players up front who will be looking just to get their head on it and send it in to the back of the net. So ball taken in onto the near side here of the penalty area. Headed away by Derby. And they misplace the ball. And still a bit of pandemonium here on the edge of the penalty area. So West Brom still have it. They recoup possession and they do pass the ball back now. Once again with Malumbi. Max O'Leary. Just on the edge of their penalty area. And it will be sent long on the near side. And it connects here with Bielik, who finds Diakite. Back out to Price now. Back with Bielik on the near side still there, as it's forward to Hegebo on the near side. He can't do anything with it. And now, Derby County for a moment had a touch on the ball, but Illing Jr. got there on the scene and got back into possession here. But Derby back to Zetterstrom now. He looks to send it forward on the far side. It was a bit of a poor ball, however, and it goes just back to Callum Styles. So West Brom again looking rather comfortable, and the press here by Derby isn't really doing too much now. And this is a great position for West Brom to be in. Not in the sense of that they're looking like they're going to win the game, but they're not looking like they're going to lose it at the moment. And that's kind of the key thing, I think, here for Ramsey at the moment. Just don't concede early on and just try and create some chances here. Of course, 4 losses in a row for the Baggies. They sit, I think it's 3 points ahead of the relegation zone, and that's just not where anybody imagines West Brom to be. I think even with a bad season, you'd expect them to still be mid-table. Not in that relegation battle with 20-odd games to go. As it's sent forward here onto the far side, headed away by Derby. And of course, the main thing here for Derby is just when that ball goes forward, get your head to it first, and if needed, head it back to Zetterstrom, and he can then dish it out again. It was Brewster there, who was just taken down for a moment. It will be a free kick for Derby, as it's back here with Ozo. Onto the far side with Ward, who looks to send it through the middle with Travis. And Ozo and Travis here have been brilliant so far on that midfield. They've both dropped deep if they needed to. They've both tried to push a little bit high as well. So they're not just cemented in the centre of that midfield. Ozo sends it out wide to Joe Ward, who looks to try and find a run. And Bobby Clark was asking for it, but didn't receive it. You could see here a big... more of a sigh from the fans there, who was hoping that ball was going to go into Bobby Clark. But Ward now looks to send the cross in. Goes off of the head of West Brom. Ilm Jr. looking to get there, but it goes out of play. Will be a throw into Derby. Travis sends it all the way back to the Derby defence. Just back into the centre circle now, with Elder on the near side. Sends it back halfway into the Derby half with Bath, and Langas sends it forward. Travis and Ozo, bit of a 1-2 here. And another chance for Derby to push forward. They've got Adjumant, who's dropped deep to receive it. Back to Ozo. And of course, a key thing here for Adjumant is because of him being such a tall player, he's a great player to kind of hold the ball. He's also great to kind of get a header in, so you want to try and definitely cross it in towards Patrick Adjumang, as still here with the Derby County midfield. Also wide out towards Elder, who's on the near side. And Derby, for the past 5 minutes, have had most of the ball here. And it seems both teams are very happy just to sit with the ball, and they want to keep the ball, as Travis now looking to go forward, looking to pile it through onto the near side here now with... Oh, and Travis just disconnects himself from the ball there, and now a big chance for West Bromwich Albion to push forward. And it was Price there, quickly taken down, a free kick given. And there we can see once again a small mistake for Derby nearly turned into a chance for them to unfortunately go 1-0 down. Of course, John Eustace, with the fact that West Brom have been nowhere this season, he'd be hoping that he can come away here with 3 points. As play underway again. It's a free kick here for West Brom. Send it forward, looking to try and clip off. I think that was Grant, but it was a little bit too far-fetched there and just drops out of play. It'll be a free kick as well for Derby. And just looking at the replay again, it wasn't off of Grant. I believe it was off Campbell again. It's now with Elder on the near side, sends it forward to William Brewster, who's dropped really deep there just to hold it. Still on the near side now with Derby. Headed away by Bielik. Into the middle now, and West Brom back with the ball. Back with Price on the near side. Bielik now. Just sitting with the ball on the defensive line here for West Brom as the ball rolls long. Looks to try and clip with Hegebo, but instead it will be a free kick given the way of West Brom as Eldat tripped up Johnston there, who I think also looked a little bit confused. Looking at the replay again, I think Elder there just grabbed the back of Johnston's neck. It was nothing too serious, just a quick hold of the neck. So Johnston went down, and another free kick here for West Brom, who have been... I think that's what they've been playing for here. They are playing just to get, to get the the set pieces, whether it's a corner, a free kick in the Derby area, they are very reliant on just forcing the ball forward and creating a set piece chance, as Hegebo still leads the line here. Referee just making sure nobody's misbehaving in the wall. Whistle blown. Forward now. Looking to try and find Hegebo. It goes up towards goal. And it will be a goal kick. It was Hegebo, I think, who sent it forward, but it was nowhere near on target. And Derby have a chance just to hold the ball again and move forward. So now with Zetterstrom forward to Bath. Elder on the near side. Still on that near side here, but West Brom have retaken the ball again. Hegebo on the near side attacking here. It's gone to Isaac Price. Price sends it back towards Bielik, who sends it forward again. Looking for a quick turn, but Ing Junior's got there. Sending it through the middle. Looking to try and find someone to pass it to, but there's nobody there. And Joe Wood sends the ball back towards middle Zetterstrom. And in the air, it's won by West Brom. But it doesn't connect, and Derby with a chance again just to run forward, who haven't had that many chances here. They haven't created many, but they also haven't had many in general to kind of work off. There's the ball still with Bath and Langas on the defensive line. Langas sends it forward on the far side here to try and connect with Brereton Diaz. Callum Stiles sends the ball out of play, and Derby looking to get going quickly here. Still on the far side. Quick ball forward. Finds Bobby Clark, who will be looking to try and cross the ball in here. But there's not much of an avenue for him. And it's sent out to play, and it will be a goal kick. It was Brereton Diaz there who just tried to help out Bobby Clark. And it went out of play. I think it was Campbell having a bit of a battle there. Yet again was another chance for Derby to really take the lead here. And John Eustace doesn't look too happy on his dugout. And of course, in the 32nd minute here, it is Derby 0, West Bromwich Albion 0. And O'Leary haven't really been able to see what he can do here. He's not had many chances where he's had to save. He's just kind of recouped the ball and sent it back forward. That was a tackle, and that will be Christian Bielik, I think, in a slight bit of pain. He went running in for the ball, and I think collided with the knee there of Rian Brewster. It does look to be in a tad bit of miscomfort. And of course, Bielik there had to run in, and it doesn't look too happy. And he's back up here. The medical staff just seen to him quickly, as all the players are just grouping up together, having a quick drink, chat with the manager. And Bielik does look very uncomfortable. As Eustace as well, just having a chat to the team. It's not been the best start for Derby. It's not been that bad because they haven't really, made many mistakes. It's more just been the fact that they haven't kind of got a hold of the game, which with Derby you normally expect them to do, especially at home, where they have been quite powerful this season. And of course, I think Ramsey will be quite happy with this, considering they're not a goal down already. Of course, they conceded, I think, 8 goals in the past 2 matches. They was 3-2 down at Middlesbrough and 5-0 down at home against Norwich. As Bielik there just looking a little bit more comfortable, ready to go back on to continue play. Of course, Bielik, a player that hasn't actually had that much play time recently. Of course, in League One, only got the odd game for Birmingham City. Before that, when he was in the Championship with the Blues, he was playing quite a lot. And he was a key player for the side. So, of course, he wasn't Chris Davis' type of player. So, of course, it was just wise for him to stay in the area, but to move on to a different club, and has had a couple of chances here to prove himself with West Brom, as now it's on the far side with Derby. As Ward there having a tussle, and Callum Stiles sends it away. Back into the Derby half now with Langas. And now still on the centre circle with Ozzo. Looks to send it out for Travis. Ward now. Of course, the only issue is, I think, what I've seen with Derby is when they do get the ball near the penalty area, there's kind of not much help there. And then you have all the West Brom players there immediately, and it becomes a 3v1, and it's so hard to win it then. So that's the only issue for Derby. They do get the ball moved quickly, but they don't have everybody running up with them. And Ajamang now on the near side looking to try and win it for Derby, but it goes back to the West Brom defence. They look for a quick turnover to make it go forward. It hits off of Hegabo now. And it was a big dive forward there by Bath, but nothing can be done by that one, and West Brom still with the ball now. Back onto the near side here with Bielik, who's just looking for a pass forward. It goes back to Phillips. And Phillips still just not with many options here to go forward. It's a quick 1-2 there as Isaac Price sends it in towards Hegabo. Johnston there just looking to go forward. Can't do so sends it back. And back here in the West Brom half of their defence. There's a ball yet again, and it's been great here. West Brom have had so many chances just to put the ball through the middle. And now it's on the near side here with Isaac Price. He looks to send the cross in towards Hegabo, who just about misses the ball. It was a great chance there for West Brom to take the lead in the 36th minute. And it was a great ball from Isaac Price. It was sent in towards Hegabo. He was probably around a metre back. And luckily, Zetterstrom got to the ball first. And a great scare there for Derby County, as Hegabo has done that a few times. He has been just on the edge of that Derby defence, and he just darts forward at the right time. And on a couple of occasions has had a chance to kind of connect with the ball. And Ozzo with it now with Derby. Forward in towards Brewster. Elder on the overlap. Brewster sends it through the middle, and you can hear a few Derby fans a bit unhappy with the slow passage of play here by the Rams. It's sent forward here by Zetterstrom, and it goes out of play by Brewster. It was a bit of a dodgy ball onto his head, and it got sent out of play just on the near side by the manager's dugouts. So it'll be a throw in here, and taking this one will be Isaac Price. And of course, these two teams have had a couple of meetings in the past this season, both of them going the way of Derby County. Of course, they beat West Brom in the EFL Cup 4-3 on penalties, and then earlier in the season, they did beat West Brom away as well. It was a 1-0 win there, and that was right at the start of the EFL Championship season. And of course, where currently Derby sits in the table 8th, and West Brom sit 19th. There's a bit of an argument in the centre circle here, won by a free kick given as well, and Brewster not happy with the referee, having a bit of a strop as he walks away. And it was a couple of players there getting involved, and I think Brewster was disappointed that the foul wasn't given his way, as it was given to West Brom, who sent it forward with Diakite. Malumbi now, I think, stepping forward to this. As we head into the 38th minute of play, and it is still 0-0 here between Derby and West Brom. It's been a game where both teams haven't really had many chances. Both of them a couple of shots, but nothing really coming of anything here. As the ball sent really long, looking to find the head of Campbell. Oh, and Zetterstrom collected it, dropped out of his hands, but luckily got back to it again, and Campbell was there ready to try and go forward with it. So it went into Zetterstrom. He had a bit of a dodgy landing, and it was looking to go back to Campbell here, but Derby with the ball again. Langus finds Ward. Forced to send it over to Ozzo. And West Brom are really pressing high here with around 7 minutes to go until half-time. Sends forward into the middle. Adjaman looking to win it. Adjaman does win the ball over Max Leary. Oh, dear me, that was such a big chance there for Derby. And oh, dear me, Adjaman not happy with the linesman there for some reason. So it was a great long ball there by Langas. It met the head of Ajamang, and he just couldn't quite get hold of it quite well, and it went into the hands of Max O'Leary. So Ajamang did get a touch on it, but it was just straight into the legs of O'Leary and then sent out of play. And of course, Ajamang being their, main man up front recently, has scored 7 goals this season, 3 assists as well. But of course, the big loss is Carlton Morris for Derby. Of course, I think it was in October, maybe November, sent away for injury. But of course, before that, scored 10 goals. He was right up the front of the top goal scorer of the season. And a yellow card there being given towards Ona Hegabo, I believe. Let's see the clip of this again. So Hegabo went high for the ball, collided his arm off of the head of Danny Bath. Doesn't look that much like a yellow card from this view, I can see, but I'm sure it was given as a yellow card to Ona Hegabo. That, of course, been his second yellow card this season. And then, of course, we saw a replay of what happened before when Danny Bath basically jumped on the back of Hegabo, and I don't think a foul was given there. So, don't think Hegabo will be happy with that, as he got fouled for something that was probably a lesser offence than what happened before. It was Ajamang here with the ball in the box. Gets pushed away by Albion. And Hegabo again looking to get to the ball. It goes far onto the near side here of play. Bobby Clark getting to the ball, but it just goes straight into the feet of a West Bromwich player. Ozzo now looking to go forward, displaced by Johnston. Derby get given the free kick here on the near side, just into the West Brom area now. Ozzo goes for a switch of play to Ward. And now Bobby Clark looking to retrieve this one. Brereton Diaz sends it back towards Langas. Ward now here with the ball. Langas. Ozzo in the centre circle. And still in the centre circle here with Travis. Onto the far side now with Ward, who finds Brereton Diaz here with an opportunity to cross the ball in. It goes off the foot of Grant there. And the ball goes out of play, and it will be a throw given away of Derby. Couple yards out from the goal line. So this is a big chance again to go for that long throw. I believe it's Ward here, sending this one into the area. You can see many Derby players now in the penalty box, a couple of them on the outskirts of it. Got Travis and Elder will be looking for the ball to send it into the box, whereas everybody else is just crowded around inside of it. Ball goes in. Off of the head of a West Brom player, but recouped by Bobby Clark. Finds Ward again, who sends the cross into low cross. It's headed away by Campbell. Hegabo gets there as well. Johnston sends it forward, but it does go straight back to the defence of Derby, who had a very lively moment there. 43rd minute now, so a couple of minutes to go, and then I'd imagine maybe 2 or 3 minutes maximum of added time. Elder looking to get the ball off of Ajamang, but it's sent a bit too short. Sent short again by West Brom. Ajamang now on the near side, as he gets pretty much jumped on there by Christian Bielik. Lifts him back up. And it will be, I believe, a throw in here. And Ajamang was actually sent down twice there. It was a trip up initially, and then Christian Bielik decided to send him down to the ground himself. And it will be a free kick here for Derby. Just inside the field. And it will be around 10 yards out, just adjacent with the penalty area line. So let's see here now what Derby can do. It's Elder on this one. Hegabo's there, just ahead of him. We'll be looking to jump at it and send it forward. But into the 44th minute now. Big chance for Derby. Free kick conceded by Bielik. Elder sends it in, looking to try and find a head. It goes off of O'Leary and it's in! It's in for Derby County. And it is Patrick Albion with the goal. And it was initially Max O'Leary did get to the ball, but it fell out of his hands. And I think it was off Albion, but it could have been off anybody. It just rolled into the back of the net. And that is not the way you want to start your West Bromwich Albion career. 44th minute, and Patrick Albion with his 8th goal of the season. And let's have a look here at the replay. So it was a great ball in by Callum Elder. Headed off by O'Leary. He doesn't grab it, and it goes off of Albion, and I think it did hit off one of the other Derby players as well. We'll see a closer up picture. So O'Leary drops it off of Albion, and I think it might have gone off the back of Danny Bath as well, potentially. A better angle here. Albion with a great ball in, and no, it did go straight in, and you saw there Campbell tried to get to it, and by the time he got to the ball, it was in the back of the net. So it's looking like it could be the 5th loss in a row here for West Bromwich Albion, and that chance of relegation is going even higher. Of course, we saw it in the past where we saw Sunderland go down. We've seen Birmingham City go down in times when we thought, no, they'll make it out. But that could certainly be the chance here for West Bromwich Albion if they don't sort things out quickly. And I think most of their goals as well conceded against Norwich were set pieces as well. But there we go. Derby 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. I'll get the scorer to blast off. There we are. I love that. It was a bit late, but we got it there in the end. And I love that little goal. I think it was... Oh, another chance here for Derby. Misplaced ball. Ajamang again. In the edge of the penalty area. Brewster there looking to send the ball in. Finds Bobby Clark. Clark back to Ajamang again. Brewster still on the near side. Finds Ozo. Still flirting on the near side here. Adjacent to the penalty area for Derby. With 3 minutes of extra time. The last thing that West Brom need now is to go into half-time 2-0 down after being 0-0 in the 41st minute. And Derby decide to send it back. No risks taken there. And Ozo on the near side just sends it into the West Bromwich Albion area. And Elder recoups it. Ozo looking to go forward again. Elder now finds Brewster. Brewster back to Ozo on the near side. Halfway into the Derby half. Back with Danny Bath. Indeed, and a comment there from Josh. I do love the graphics. They're brilliant. They really are quite nice. There's now Ajamang on the near side, on the edge of the penalty area. Looks to run through, but Campbell gets there and displaces him. The ball out of play there. It was Travis, a bit too much power. The ball flies out of play. So West Brom here get a throw in. Just opposite their own penalty area here. And it will be, I believe, Price taking this one back into the area of play. As it goes off of a Derby head, it's another West Brom throw in here. That was off of Elder. Callum Elder, of course, with an assist in this game, has been very, very good over the course of this one. Of course, around 50 seconds to go, and that will be the end of the first half here. Of course, it is Derby 1, West Brom 0. Una Hegabo looking to go forward here, but Ryan Brewster gets to it first. In the near side. Forward by Derby, but it hits off of Campbell. And it falls to Johnston, who gets taken down, and it will be a free kick given the way of Derby. Sorry, the way of West Brom. It was Bobby Clark who was the cause of that one. It's now Max O'Leary, yet again, doing what he did earlier on in the game. Just looking to send the ball forward. Just outside the edge of the centre circle in the West Bromwich half. Ball goes forward. In the area. Campbell trying to get to it, but Brewster sends it back away. And that is half-time here. And it will be Derby County 1 and West Bromwich Albion 0. Not the start that West Brom were hoping for. Of course, they have lost 4 of the past 5 games. It's now looking to go 5-5 if they don't improve things in the second half. And the thing is, they had a couple of big chances to go 1-0 up there. About twice they had an opportunity, but it was always a bit of a loose ball, could never quite get on the end of it. And of course, every time Derby got the ball back and was able to send it forward, then it was a bit of a silly foul by Christian Bielik. One that he didn't need to make because the ball was already going out of play. So he didn't really need to go for that dive onto Elder. Of course, then Elder sent the free kick in. It went off of Max O'Leary. He did get to the ball, dropped out of his hands. Agerman got there, and it was just a simple tap-in. And yet again, a little bit of inconsistency with West Brom, a little bit of a lack of urgency as well, I think. And of course, that cost them heading into half-time. It was a 44th minute goal, and Derby now take the lead. Of course, we'll be back very shortly for the second half. I'm going to take a quick break. So, yes, we'll be back in around 10 minutes' time.
between and just doesn't gather it. And unfortunately for him, with all those yellow and green bodies around him, it lands to the one man that you don't want it to land to in Ajamang. And even then, he still gets fortunate because the deflection off of Nat Phillips probably takes it past Campbell.
Yeah, it looks that way, doesn't it? It's just when you're at the bottom of the table and you're struggling for form, those are the things that go against you. And I really felt for the keeper there. He did everything right. He's come for it. He's trying to command his area. Just one of those things. He's dropped it, and like I said, it's just dropped straight to Aggie man. Tapping really. He reacted well and he tucked it in, but yeah, it's disappointing because West Brom had been the better of the teams up until that point, and that just has given Derby something to go into with.
Yeah, because he'd said about Ramsey, hadn't he, after what happened against Norwich, that his team wanted to give a better version of themselves.
Yeah.
And as Tommy says, they'd done that. They'd looked the more likely.
Yeah, they had some good stuff, and this actually came from a long ball forward from the goal kick, and Malumbi should do better there, should get a better contact. You know, as it comes back to him, Tommy will know better than me, but in terms of scuffs it and goes straight into the keeper, and then this 50p head.
Yeah, we said that straight away when we saw the header from Phillips. It's a great chance. Look, he's got a free jump really in the middle of the goal, 6 yards out. He'll be really disappointed. That's a brilliant chance, great opportunity. You've got to hit the target at least there.
And here's just an example of Isaac Price. We know what he's going to do. We know he's going to put the ball. Hegabo just seems to hesitate, and that chance is just missed. If he just goes that second earlier where he has a slight hesitation, Isaac Price has got a great delivery, puts it in those areas a lot. Hegabo just slightly off it. If he just gets ahead of it, then that could have been another good chance.
Yeah, there have been some encouraging moments from a West Brom perspective. What are we made of how they're set up tonight under Eric Ramsey? Has much changed from Tuesday?
In terms of the actual shape itself, no. But what we've noticed is they're not jumping as much. They're not getting out of this shape as much. They're happy to sit in this kind of block. And even when players do move out of the shape, you'll see in a moment, when Isaac Price slightly moves out of that right back position, you'll see Micah Johnson recovering to cover him. So it's almost, you know, banking up, making sure that they protect their goal as much as possible. That shot from Ajamang was actually the only shot that Derby had. So it seems to have been working. And you see as they've done it, they're not really moving around lots, but you'll see in a second, Isaac Price jumps, Micah Johnson covers in. So it's just showing that they have definitely worked on their defensive shape to make sure they're not as open. The one shot that they've got today, Derby, has unfortunately been from that Max O'Leary drop.
They would have been desperate to keep a clean sheet after their midweek humiliation by Norwich. It wasn't to be, though. There'd be no real sign of a Derby goal, had there? But Patrick Agiman was not going to give up that gift from Max O'Leary. The new keeper only signed yesterday, handing the opening goal on a plate.
goalkeeper with a moment to forget.
Yeah, Derby a goal up at the break. Second half on the way in just a moment. Meanwhile, the NFL is down to the final four. Who will be going to Super Bowl 60? Find out this Sunday as the Broncos play the Patriots in the AFC Championship game at 7. Followed by the NFC matchup, Seahawks against the LA Rams from 11:15. All on Sky Sports NFL with Super Bowl itself in California on the 8th of February. Our focus tonight is the Derby Rams, who hadn't been particularly super until they were gifted the opening goal by a goalkeeping error. Never rains but it pours for these West Brom fans. Their team in danger of a third straight defeat. Can their side give them something to cheer in the second half, which comes next?
And we are back here for the second half as Derby County take the lead into the second half here as they take on West Bromwich Albion. Hasn't been their game at all tonight, West Brom. And of course they go in with a 1-0 deficit. And as you heard in the analysis earlier on as well by Sky, West Brom, when they've had their chances, have probably looked like the better team, but just have never been able to take them. And now gives Derby a chance just to kind of, you know, calm down a bit and just focus on that more defensive element and not have to focus too much on just trying to find that leading goal. We start things off here with West Brom sending it long in towards Derby's half. Ball goes out of play on the near side. It'll be a throw in here for West Brom. Illing Jr. takes that one. Malumbi now sends it back to the halfway line with Bielik. Who then sends it forward. A run here for West Brom. As it goes just on the edge of the penalty area. Collected by Joe Ward. He sends it high and out of the box. As it drops in here towards Isaac Price. Across the floor. Rolled in. But sent out to the penalty area by Ryan Brewster. As Ozzo there gets misplaced. A big chance here for West Brom. Hegabo there, I think, getting hold momentarily. And that stopped him for going for that chance to try and score the goal for West Brom. No changes as well to note in that second half, or heading into the second half. And now Ajamang into the area. He dives down onto the ground. Referee allows play to continue on. Forward here with Phillips. Finds Illing Jr. Diakite back towards Bielik now. And that was a very lively couple of minutes here to start off the second half as we're going to get the clock back on. The one thing I forgot to do. As it's a ball into the area of Hekabo. Just a bit too high. Couldn't quite get to it and the ball stays in play. And then it goes out of play. It was a great ball in. Let's see again. It was forward in towards Hegabo. Oh, the ball was to him, but he couldn't quite connect with it. And it rolled out of play. And I think it was a ball in from Price originally. I couldn't quite see who the ball was in from. Long ball there by Ward. Looks to find Ajamang. Back to Ward on the near side, adjacent of the penalty area. But it goes straight in towards Isaac Price. Headed up and away by Ozo on the far side now. Still in the Derby County area. Goes back towards a penalty spot, but it then gets moved forward. Oh, and Illing Jr. there just trying to displace the ball and send it forward. And West Brom again have looked quite lively at the start of this second half, just like what we saw at the start of the first half. So we head into the 49th minute of play. It's still Derby 1, West Brom 0. And Brereton Diaz now with the ball. Finds Ozo. who goes back towards the halfway line here with Langas. He goes forward again. And then Darby sending it back towards Zetterstrom, who will look to just send the ball forward now. And Derby, you can see, as soon as they scored that first goal, they are happy just to sit a little bit more deep and just hold the ball. It's a little bit like what we saw with Birmingham City, of course. Yes, they did have 10 men, but they were happy just to control play and just sit with the ball and, you know, kind of work more of a counter-attacking style. Of course, West Brom themselves playing a little bit more defensive with the 5-4-1 system. Ball to find Styles down the near side here for West Brom. Styles just finding options here. Goes to Diakite. Back towards Phillips, who sends it in towards Price. It's a long ball onto the near side here, just trying to connect with Styles. Does connect with Styles, but I think Ward will get there first. Ward does get there first. Goes back to Langas. Still on the near side here with Derby. Gets collected here by West Brom as it's a throw-in here. Goes back to Max O'Leary, of course, conceded his first goal for the team in his first start. And it was probably a mistake mainly by him. Did get to the ball, it fell out of his hands, and it was then, of course, chance for Ajamang to go forward. And now West Brom also have a chance. It was pinged around the centre of the field. West Brom got to it first, and there they have a chance to push forward and try to equalise. As it's still on the back line here with Nat Phillips. Finds Christian Bielik, who looks to just try and drill forward through the midfield. Finds Orne Hegebo, who drops deep. Hegebo looks to go forward, and it was a foul given the way of West Brom. And I think West Brom were kind of hoping it was given as advantage, as Christian Bielik was running forward there. But it will be a stop of play and a chance for West Brom to go for a free kick here. As we can see on our screens, Carlton Morris, of course, out of play due to injury. Watching on for his team. Of course, I'm sure if he was here tonight, this could easily have been another goal added in because he was scoring for fun at the start of this championship season. Now it's ball forward here by Derby. Just looking to try and find Bobby Clark to send it away. Goes for a long shot on goal, and Zetterstrom gets to it first. That was Callum Styles trying to do something there. As West Brom with the ball, Johnston looking to go forward here through the centre of the field. Moves to the far side. Then looks to cut back in towards Illing Jr. A little bit too much power. And Langas gets that one to safety. Yet again, it's good the ideas here of what West Brom are trying to do. You can see that, you know, they're trying to go for through balls here, trying to catch Derby off guard, but they're just not quite clinical enough with it. And, you know, they're ruining these chances. But the other end of the spectrum is, if they're playing too slow, they end up letting Derby just get to them and, you know, put a little bit too much pressure on and they lose the ball. So it's a little bit difficult here. And West Brom are just having to try and find that medium. As the ball does go out of play, it's a throw-in awarded the way of Derby. And yet again, it was pinged about just on the edge of the touchline, and that was given the way of Derby. There's Ajamang now with the ball. Looking to fire forward. He gets dragged down there by Malumbi. And the yellow card as well given to him. Yeah, that was a pull down, and Ajamang probably could have got that ball out wide and given another chance for for Derby. Back under play here with Derby. So I'm trying to just sort out the timeline here to see if that will work. There we go. I think it might do. That should update as we go along. And then I'll just drop in a lineups at the bottom. Move that higher. There we go. So it's forward now here with Derby. Back now with Bath and Langas. Oh, dear me. Sorry there. On the near side now, Brereton Diaz looking to fire it into the middle, but there was no one there to be of service. So now West Brom with a chance on the far side here with Isaac Price. Price goes all the way back now towards Bielik, who sends it across to George Campbell on the centre rear part of the West Brom defence. Campbell again. A crossover towards Phillips and Bielik. Now with Diakite, who of course is back in the side after personal issues. He was left out of the past 2 matches, I believe, but of course back now and ready to continue on as Callum Stiles now. Back to Diakite in the centre of the field here for West Brom. Hegebo was making a run but wasn't quite sore there, so he has to just drop back slightly. It's forward again here by West Brom, but Joe Ward heads it away to Zetterstrom, who picks the ball up and plays it out to the centre of the field here with Ozo, who looks to go forward, finds Bobby Clark, who gets dispossessed here. And now West Brom have a chance to run forward. Looking to find Illing Jr. on the near side here, just in the edge of the penalty area. Across towards Hegebo. Goes across goal. It's way too high there by Isaac Price. And that was a big chance for Price to make the equaliser. And it was Bobby Clark who got displaced. I believe that's by Johnston. He sent it out wide towards Illing Jr., who sent the cross in towards Hegebo. Missed Hegebo, found Isaac Price. And he sent it a little bit too high there. Another chance there for West Brom to try and cause that equaliser. But they were found foul of it once more. As we're heading to the 56th minute of play, still Derby 1, West Brom 0. Apart from that Derby goal, it has been quite an unlively game. Not much really going on in this one. As of course you can see at the bottom of the screen, we do have our starting 11s. Couldn't get the substitutions in. I also couldn't find a way to make it so they all say I'm online. So it is a little bit chunky. But of course, myself and the broadcast team, Josh and Naomi, will be looking at just trying to refine everything so it is the best that it can be. Of course, a big thanks to Matt Owens as well, part of the commentary team. He's got the scoreboard set up nicely as well. So yes, everything's working for now, but of course we are going to try and make it that little bit better. As Bobby Clark sends the ball back for Derby. Langas here with the ball now. Just on the edge of the penalty area. Finds Zetterstrom. Fires it forward now on the far side. Ball goes out of play here and West Brom win the throw in. And just looking here at some statistics, when conceding first, West Brom have lost all of their games. And that's 9. So, oh dear me, this could be another tricky night for the Albion fans travelling to Derby. It's not the furthest away. It's only around, I think, 40 miles to Derby. But still, you don't need to be travelling away and seeing your team lose once again. They are also 23rd in the league for away points. I think they've scored 9 points away this season. Only team below them is Sheffield Wednesday, who, well, I think are already, safe to say, a relegated team. And I think they were already a relegated team before the season even started, as goal kick here for West Brom. The timeline doesn't want to move its way up for some reason. There we go. And that's a little bit too far ahead for me. Because it's saying that we got yellow cards and there isn't any yellow cards. So Google a little bit too far ahead for my liking. And that's going to be the yellow card we saw on the timeline. for Travis. Bobby Clark was down. Let's have a look here then. So it was a ball by Malumbi, and I think he's the one who causes a foul here. Oh, dear me. I'm not sure who it's been awarded to here, because Bobby Clark did go down, but it must have been the initial contact before with Lewis Travis, which caused that yellow card. So here we go again. Derby, West Brom with the free kick here. On the near side of the edge of the centre circle. Looking to send the ball into play. There's the referee just having a word with Langas and Diakite. As we look to get going once again. West Brom with a chance to equalise here with a free kick into the penalty area. Goes way too deep. Campbell trying to get there. Does Campbell get there in time? He does. It's sent back by Elder, but that finds Isaac Price, who sends the ball into the area. It goes all the way up towards Illing Jr. trying to win it. He can't do so. It goes to Malumbi, who finds Joe Ward on the edge of the area. And I think Joe Ward has got to that one. Travis as well, who's just received a yellow card. Goes down, and it's a foul given the way of West Brom. Travis there going down. He's gone very mad at Diakite. I'm sure there was an F off in there as well somewhere. And we have got a couple of substitutions here in this one, I believe. We certainly have. I'll get these written down. If I can find my pen, which I seem to have lost somewhere. Ah, there it is. So we have coming off. Number 4, Callum Stiles. And coming on will be number 12. Three big changes there. So we've got Stiles, Hegabo and Johnston off. Majak, Wallace and Dyke all on. So 3 big changes there for West Brom. Of course, we've got Josh Madger on number 9. Of course, was one of the top goal scorers last season in the Championship. But this season has not been there at all as the ball goes out of play. And given the way of West Brom, I believe there, Callum Elder not happy with that one. So we have Wallace coming on too, along with Darryl Dyke. Chance now here for West Brom to go forward. Campbell finds Illing Jr. on the near side now, just adjacent to the penalty area. Illing Jr. looks for the cross. Gets caught by Zetterstrom. It was going out of play, but Zetterstrom managed to just about catch the ball. And then Wallace as well coming on. So we're keen to see what DK, Wallace and Josh Madger can do. So the ball gets sent high. Derby County with a possession now. Finds Bobby Clark. Bobby Clark displaced there, and Isaac Price looks to find safety. He finds Campbell. Campbell goes forward, but it hits off the referee. And of course that will be a drop ball. And we've got some substitutions as well for Derby County. 3 changes made for them. As we have a few players heading onto the field. So coming off is Ryan Brewster. Bobby Clark as well coming off. Not what we like to see. Well, not what I expect at least. I thought Bobby Clark was brilliant on the field. And then also we got Ozo coming off too. So we've got Frollo, Thompson and Blackett-Taylor all heading onto the field. So there we have it. So 6 total changes in the past couple of minutes. So for West Bromwich Albion, Callum Stiles off, Hegabo off, and Mikey Johnston off. And entering the field we have Darrell DK, Josh Madder, and then Jed Wallace. And then off for Derby, Ozo, Clark and Brewster. And on, Thompson, Frollo and Blackett-Taylor. So both teams there making a couple of changes as they continue on here. And West Brom look for the equaliser. Forward now here with Isaac Price. Looks to try and find Madger. Can't do so. Sam Ealing Jr. in the area. Looks to go on to goal. And I think first there was Sunray Langas. Won there by Brereton Diaz. And we can see there as well. Forward now with Derby. Frollo with the ball. Looking to try and find Ajamang. It goes a little bit too deep into the area. Collected there as well. But Isaac Price gets to there first. And that was offside, I believe, given as well. And Ealing Jr. went for it, and it was taken away by Langas as well. And another big chance for West Brom to take an equaliser here. As Frollo now with the ball in the centre circle. Goes back to Langas, finds Brereton Diaz on the far side, who I believe he's dropping back a little bit more now. Finds Frollo and Ward. Ooh, and down goes Travis. So free kick given away Derby. Of course, Travis not going to be happy there. Of course, got a yellow card earlier on for a bit of a silly foul on, I think it was Malumbi. Now it's a chance for Derby to go 2-0 up here. About 30 yards outside of the penalty area on the near side. Derby have a free kick. So they look to send the ball in here. It's Ward, hits off of the back of Josh Madger. Goes out to play, and now it will end up being a throw-in for Derby County. So it'll be Joe Ward taking this one again. So it's with Ward here. Goes back towards Langas. And now West Brom looking to press, but Derby just looking to just sit back a bit here. Finds Elder, but it gets displaced in. Here is Isaac Price. Looking to send the ball in. Looks to try and find Madger. Can't quite do so. It goes back to Sam Ealing Jr. And now it's a chance again for Derby on the counter. Finds Ajamang. Looking to try and find Brereton Diaz here to make it 2-0. Brereton Diaz on goal. It goes just wide of goal. And that should have really been a ball into the back of the net for Derby. And it was a really poor shot there by Brereton Diaz. He initially got the ball out to Ajamang. Great through ball here. And he just had so much time there. A little bit too little power. And of course, that was probably around a metre wide off of goal. But that was a big scare there for Max O'Leary. That could have easily been 2-0 here to the Rams. But we continue on here in the 67th minute. Derby 1, West Brom 0. And here's the ball in the centre circle now. West Brom looking to go on the attack. Sam Ealing Jr. on the near side at the centre circle, but he's got to just hold the ball and find an option. Goes back to Diakite, finds Isaac Price, who launches it forward here for West Brom. Gets won there by Callum Elder. Zetterstrom gets to the ball and will just hold it for a moment and just get a little bit calm again here. Derby have been a little bit lively in the past 5 minutes, and not in a good way, really. Have been all over by West Brom. As Derby County here with the ball on the far side. Finds Bath and will go back towards Zetterstrom in goal in the penalty area. Fired forward down the centre of the field, just inside the West Brom half. Phoned by Ling Jr., but couldn't quite connect with it, and it'll be a throw-in given the way of Derby. It'll be Joe Ward taking this one. He sends it long onto the wing to find Ajamang now, who gets sent down. West Brom take possession. Diakite on the edge of the area. Fires it forward to try and find Maja. But either way, it just gets sent back towards the West Bromwich Albion defence. Maja looks for the ball, but flies past him and looks to go forward with it. But Elder now on the far side has a big chance here for Derby. Frollo back into the centre circle here with Langas, who finds Ward on the near side. Ward here just slows down play, finds Brereton Diaz, looks to go for the overlap. Brereton Diaz paused for a moment, sends it back towards Travis. Back to Bath here, back onto the far side now with Derby, who are just constantly switching that play. Oh, and down there and still with the ball for Thompson. And we're into the 71st minute here, and West Brom are starting to be lively. And we saw in that game against Middlesbrough, they were 2-0 down heading into the 70th minute. Heading towards the end of the match, they were 2-2. So it seems like West Brom do start to get a little bit more lively in that second half of the match, especially the second half of the second half. There's Diakite here with the ball. Malumbi looking to go forward here on the halfway line. With Campbell now on the near side. He sends it forward in towards Maja. Maja having a tussle there with Langas. And Derby again take hold of the ball. Travis looks to go forward. Fires it onto the wing here. And this is a big, big chance for Derby to take two here. Looking to find Ajamang. Oh, and it was a bit of a dodgy ball there by Blackett-Taylor. And it goes out for a corner here. And it was a great ball by Travis over onto the far side to Blackett-Taylor, who had miles of space. And of course, Frollo and Ajamang were a little bit too far back, so he had to go for the shot himself. And it went out of play by Christian Bielik. It's a corner here for Derby. And I think they're deciding who to put onto it, and it will be Joe Ward. There's the referee there just having a quick word with somebody. Corner here for Derby. It will be Joe Ward on this one. A couple of options here. He can go short, can go into the area, but he sends it for a low cross. It was a really poor cross to the inside. Ball still in play, though. Langas tries to keep it in. And it was a goal kick. It was out of play, but Langas there thought it was. And is that Bielik down again with his shoulder? I think it might be. So the ball goes in, headed high by Illing Jr. A few players having a tussle, does go out of play, and that will be, miles out of play there. Of course, that's given us a goal kick to West Brom. And Bielik again hit on his left shoulder. Of course, that's what happens to him early on as well. Not looking good for Christian Bielik. An occurring issue for him in this one. He does look in a lot of pain. And Eric Ramsey just having a quick word with the players. Bielik looks like he's, I think, crying, unfortunately. Looks in so much pain, and I think that might be Bielik off. Has got his arm wrapped up. And it's not a good day in the office for Christian Bielik. Of course, conceded that free kick which gave Derby the lead, and now is in ounces of pain, heading off the field with what seems to be, I thought it was a shoulder issue, but it seems to be the upper part of his arm. And that's definitely a loss for West Bromwich Albion. See view again. And the weird thing is, it doesn't seem like he actually gets caught that much on that left shoulder. So it must have been some sort of a displacement himself. But Bielik comes off the field. We'll see who comes on for him. And it'll be Chris Mepham, who of course was in the starting side last time out against Norwich City, but was dropped onto the bench for this one. So it's Mepham on and Bielik off, which is not good at all for West Brom, especially a team that hasn't really got much going at the moment, and you know, having injuries and having to change that tactic and formation is not what they need. And free kick given away of Derby. It was Danny Bath down there. And I think the worst part for West Brom in this one is Derby have only had one shot on target. They've only had 2 shots in total, and they've conceded a goal. And it wasn't a goal that was was made in play. It was a goal from a set piece, which could have been very much avoided. So that's, I think, the harmful part for West Brom. They wasn't necessarily the worst team. They just got caught up on the wrong side of a foul. So Derby now with the ball launching forward. Looks to try and find Fraulo. Back with Elder. Ooh, and Travis Egg gets tripped up, and that'll be another foul on Derby County. And that, I think, was off Jed Wallace initially. There's Derby now with the free kick, just on the far side here, about 30 yards out. Referee forces them to send on play into the area, finds Ajamang. Brereton Diaz with the ball on the edge of the area, sends it out wide towards Travis. Travis looks for the cross into the box, off at the head of Fraulo. Still with Derby here. Thompson looking to go forward, finds Travis again on this near side. Through ball in towards Diaz, but gets displaced there by West Brom. Sends it high and wide, but taken there by Joe Ward, and Zetterstrom then again fires it down through the centre of play. But it's won by Price. Taken away by Elder again. And now another big chance here as Blackett Taylor finds Ajamang, who I believe was offside there. He drops back. Ball sent over towards Brereton Diaz, who looks to fire on goal. Max O'Leary gets first, and it's just over the top of goal. O'Leary got there, missed the ball completely, and Ajamang was always at an odd angle there, so he would have never really have, scored from that angle. But of course, put some pressure on O'Leary. And then, of course, another big chance miss there. So I think either way that would have been called for offside. Ajamang was at least a body and a half off. Off for Brereton Diaz. Oh, dear me. Max O'Leary. Another moment there where he's really should be getting to the ball but doesn't. Ball back with West Brom here as I look to equalise late on. Illing Jr. on the near side now. Looks to go forward in towards Maja. As now displaced by Ward. Forward now here with Derby County. Fraulo. Ajamang offside again, so he's got to drop back. Finds Ward on the edge of the penalty area. On the near side, cross in. Can it find a head here of Derby? It can do so, but it goes out of play. And it's given away to Derby. Jed Wallace there was in that one, but it was off him and not off of Callum Elder. So Elder now here with another long throw into the box. Referee just making sure everybody's behaving themselves here. Oh, a bit of a nosebleed, I think, for Danny Bath. Got a bit of blood on his shirt. So he's got to just get himself sorted out quickly. Of course, he doesn't look in any pain or discomfort. I think it's more the fact of his, been hit on a dodgy angle and it's gave him a nosebleed. But he's off the pitch, so one less player for the time being for Derby. Of course, it'll be a shirt change as well for Danny Bath. He's got blood all over the badge. The referee just giving the call now to go forward here. It's Elder looking to send a long throw in. Referee stops play, has a word with a couple of players in the penalty box. I think it was a word there with George Campbell, who was having a bit of a tussle with Sondre Langas. Referee lays the ball to go in. So it's Elder. He looks to go long, but I think he might go short here. He's run right up to the touchline, sends the ball into the area, off of the head of Illing Jr. Still here, bouncing in the sky. Travis sends it high. Away there by West Brom. Still here with Malumbi. Malumbi holds play. He gets taken down. It will be a free kick there. Frollo, the one conceding that. Of course, as we are into the 81st, we've got 81st minute of play, and West Brom have done nothing here. They've been really poor in the past 15, 20 minutes. They've done more than Derby, though, which is the odd part to see the result as it is. That was a big chance again for West Brom. And Zetterstrom sending the ball forward here on the near side. Joe Ward looks to switch, looks to try and find Blackett-Taylor. He does find Blackett-Taylor. Isaac Price looking to displace. Does so. Still pinging around. West Brom, though, do get the ball. Sent forward now here towards Maja. Daryl DK sitting a little bit further ahead. Does find Daryl DK, but it goes a little bit too long. Passes him. And then goes out of play. It will be another goal kick here for Derby County. And with 9 minutes to go in this one, of course, then we have added time. This is not looking good for West Brom. Of course, looking at the league table, Derby move up into the top 6 temporarily. And West Brom are really going to struggle here. I mean, Portsmouth have got, 3 games in hand over them. Blackburn and Oxford have got 2 games in hand. And they're only 3 points away from dropping into the relegation zone. So these could be really dark times here for West Brom. And Adjamang again with a chance. On the edge of the area. Looks to fire the ball in, but there's nobody there waiting for him. Gets sent high and out, and it's another throw in here for Derby. Campbell's the one sending that ball out. So here we are, 8 minutes to go in this one. And it seems we have another play coming on here. Not sure who that is. I think it's going to be... Not sure who that is. I think it might have been... Oh, yellow card given to Elder. I think that's for taking... What you could say, taking the mickey when it comes to the throw-ins. So Elder then fires the ball into the area. Looks to find the head of one of the Derby players. Doesn't do so. But goes back. Oh, and West Brom again take the ball. Big chance here for West Brom to go forward. Daryl DK finds Isaac Price on the far side. Price carries it into the centre of the field here with Campbell. Finds Illing Jr. Illing Jr. sends a cross into the box. Can it find a West Brom player? No, but it goes out for a corner, I believe. That was a really nice cross there. Samuel Illing Jr. found the head of Elder. And DK was waiting for it. It went a little bit too long for him. Goes out of play, and that's going to be a corner here for West Brom. And what this would mean here for the Baggies to try and draw a goal back into the dying depths of this game. Of course, they are 3 points clear of the relegation zone with teams with games in hand over them. They'd love to make that gap, and one higher as it goes into the area. High there by Joe Ward. It will be another corner in succession here for West Brom. As here we go again for West Brom. Ball sent in high into the area, looking to try and find a body, and it's going to be a foul given the way of Derby. So they'll have a free kick here, or a goal kick I should say. Time's ticking on here, 6 minutes to go, and it's not looking good for the Baggies at all. The fans do not look happy. They look rather just, I don't think they've got any word really. They're just in disbelief that they're going for 5 losses in a row. Shaking heads as well from many of them. And here we have Dion Sanderson making his way on. Off comes Brereton Diaz. So we have Sanderson coming on. And also coming on to play will be Salverson as well. And that's going to be for Ajamang. So, of course, goal scorer, Ajamang off, and Salverson will be on. And, of course, as well, Brereton Diaz off for Dion Sanderson. Another defender being put onto the back line just to help Derby see this one out now with 5 minutes to go. Of course, West Brom still have another change if they want to make it. Derby have used all of theirs. Of course, Salverson will be sitting high up, a little bit like what we saw from Ajamang, and of course, Dion Sanderson making it pretty much a 5 back here for Derby now. So we have around 4 minutes to go in this game. Isaac Price on the far side. Back to the West Brom defence. Here with Nat Phillips now, finds Campbell on the near side, just inside the Derby County half. Sent out to play, and that will be a throw-in, given away West Brom. Illing Jr. looks like to be the one to be taking that. Of course, West Brom have got to get things going quickly here. DK's pretty much pole drive down to the floor there. So it's going to be a free kick the way of West Brom. And here we are. We'll see what West Brom can do here. Of course, they've been quite heavy on set pieces this game. That's what they've kind of been relying on from what I've seen. So the question is, can they score from one? Of course, yet to score in this game. I don't think they've... Well, they haven't scored for the past 2. They've only scored 2 goals in the last 3. So a lack of goal scoring here for West Brom. And with 4 minutes to go, they're looking to try and cause a big change in this match and make it 1-1. Ball in by Wallace. Way too low. Finds the head of Blackett-Taylor. Still bouncing high in the sky. Isaac Price with the ball still. Hops it over towards DK. Looks to try and find... I think it was Madja. Offside flag was up. And Joe Ward was there anyway. So another chance. And I think yet again we did say... We've seen ever since DK came on with Madja, they've been playing a bit of a front two. Hasn't really worked. Because whenever they've had chances... One of them either misses a ball or it flies straight past them. They've never really been able to get onto the end of a connecting ball and work together to drive forward. So it's not really worked, this partnership up front between Madja and DK. As it's still up with Derby here. Salverson looking to go for the ball. Salverson looks to win it. It goes out of play. And it's another throw-in in the West Brom half of Derby County. It's on the far side. Halfway into their own half. And we'll see here what Derby can do. If they make it 2-0 here, the game is off. But I think there's a big chance that West Brom can get one back here. Derby fans very, very happy with what's going on at the moment with that 1-0 lead. And West Brom again. We've seen that so many times here. West Brom do manage to get the ball off of the throw-ins here that Derby have been sending in. Of course, it does help that West Brom have got quite a tall squad from what I can see. Of course, that's quite easy then to get onto the end of a ball a lot better. But it's another throw in here for Derby. Looking to aim to find Salverson. Instead, finds one of the West Brom heads. Goes back towards Campbell. Finds Illing Jr. now on the near side, looking to dive forward. He sends a long ball, but it gets taken there by Joe Ward. Travis there, just holding possession here. Back to the Derby County halfway line. Back to the defence now. And it goes out of play. Throw-in given the way of West Brom. And John Eustace looking rather calm on the touchline. I don't think he's going to be too animated just yet. Still a few minutes to go in this one, and we've probably got a good 5 minutes of added time here, as it's Dion Sanderson with the throw-in. He sends it long for Derby. Great throw on Dion Sanderson. Goes out to play again, and down goes one of the Derby players. Can't see who it is. The referee's blocking our view. But it was Thompson who went down temporarily, but he's back up again and good to go. So we have around 10 seconds until full time. But of course we have got added time to be brought on here. And we'll see how much added time we get here in this match. It's 6 minutes of added time. So it's big here for West Brom if they can try and get a late equaliser. Derby County take the ball. Oh, dear me, that's a bit of a contact there. Malumbi and Blackett-Taylor. Malumbi wins the ball, sends it here in towards Sam Illing Jr. He's got the ball, but he gets displaced there by Derby. Fraulo now looking to push forward with Travis. Goes back to Joe Ward. He sends it long. Trying to clip off Salverson, but he can't do so. O'Leary gets there first. And O'Leary there with a bit of a tag from Salverson. He sends the ball back out towards Phillips now. And Phillips here looking to go forward with West Brom. Finds Price. And West Brom fans here shouting, go forward, go forward. Illing Jr. looks to send the cross in towards DK Majok. Goes way too long. Headed away by Derby County. Ball still in play. Goes out of play. Blackett-Taylor there. They're sending that one out. It's a throw in here. Jed Wallace was going to take that one, but he leaves it for Campbell. So this will be a throw-in, I believe, now for West Brom, who with 5 minutes left to go here, into the 92nd minute of 96. Big chance for West Bromwich Albion. George Campbell sends it into the area. Looking to find off of Diakite. Ball still here with West Brom on the edge of the area. Back in. Connected here with Illing Jr. He looks to send it onto goal. Down goes one of the Derby County players. And that, I think the ball hit the face of Danny Bath. Of course, he already had a nosebleed earlier on after a hit in the face. Let's see what happens here. So the ball goes in. Finds Diakite. Then tries to find Malumbi, who sends it back out wide. And somewhere in there, Danny Bath got a right bash in the face. And it was always a weird ball there for Malumbi, so you can't really blame him there. Then Illing Jr. went for a shot. Oh, dear me, that's a big hit into the face of Danny Bath. I mean, that would have been painful. I think yet again his nose is bleeding once more. I mean, I'm not surprised after that one. Danny Bath has had a tricky time of things in the past 15 minutes in this one. And of course, this will be a drop ball here. It's for Mepham. Finds Jed Wallace. He sends it back into the area here on the far side, headed away by Derby. Daryl DK trying to get there first. Ball stays in play. And it goes out. It'll be a throw for West Brom. Isaac Price giving it back to Campbell, who I think yet again going for that long throw in here. And of course with Danny Bath out, unless he has returned back onto the field, big chance for West Brom again. Looking to try and find Diakite. He does find Diakite, a player down in the area. Onto goal. It's a big chance and it's just wide for West Brom. It was Josh Major trying to send it in. Zedstrom as well is down in the area. Let's have a look at this one again. It was a great ball in off of Diakite. Off of Diakite again, and oh, Josh Maja, so close to giving the equaliser here for West Brom. And I think he unfortunately accidentally tapped the left leg of Zetterstrom. He went down in the box, and I think she'll be back up nice and quickly. But dear me, big chance there for West Brom. And for Maja, it's a corner now for the Baggies. 2 minutes to go in this game. Oh, and Zetterstrom being, I think, just been trod on there by somebody and had a bit of a bounce back into the nets in a quick ounce of pain. But everyone's back and ready to go. West Brom with the chance to equalise. Headed across goal, and it's right on the line. I don't know if it was in. And it was in! West Bromwich Albion with the equaliser, 95th minute in. And they get on goal. It was so close. I couldn't quite tell if it was over the line. I don't think the players knew if it was over the line. And I think Eric Ramsey's still looking a bit confused. Just wants to double check it is a goal. And it is. 95th minute. Equaliser for West Bromwich Albion. 4 losses in a row. And it was Chris Mepham with the goal. Sent it went right across goal. Mepham with the header. And that is, I mean, you're looking at millimetres in there. It was kicked back out by Travis. But a great header there. And it's a goal for West Bromwich Albion. A late twist in this Friday night's kick-off here. And what a header that was. Just past goal. Zetterstrom couldn't get to it in time. Kicked away by Travis. And West Brom have the equaliser. And it's like what we saw nearly against Middlesbrough. They went for a late equaliser there, but Middlesbrough took it away at the final moments with around 40 seconds to go. Surely this is how we imagine the result would be, unless any of these two could do something absolutely remarkable. Goes forward there by West Brom. Back to Zetterstrom in goal. Dion Sanderson recoups on the far side here. And it's Derby 1. West Brom 1. And West Brom send it back forward on the far side. Ball goes out of play. It's a throw in here for Derby. And Eric Ramsey, of course, will be under so much pressure here. Just hoping the team can hold on for another couple of minutes. I think we'll at least have another minute on here just because of Danny Bath going down and the couple of corners we got given. Into the area here for Derby. Came to have a chance to equalise, to lead late on. And it was off of Elder there, went way too high. And it'll be a goal kick here for West Bromwich Albion. And you can see there it was off of the head of, I think, Salverson. Sent too high there by Elder. And the West Brom fans singing, "We are staying up." You can see once more the replay of what happened. And I mean, that is... that's like half a ball inside the goal. What a chance. And it was needed for West Brom. They needed to take that one and get the draw here. Yes, here we go. Probably around 30 seconds maximum left here. And it's a throw in here for West Brom. Could be the last kick of the, last throw of the game. And West Brom fans absolutely lively now after that late equaliser. Ball sent through by West Brom. They have the ball. Malumbi sends it hard to try and find Josh Maja on the edge of the area on the far side. Maja still with the ball. Maja's won it back again to try and go into the area. Sent high and away. And the full-time whistle here at Pride Park. It was Derby 1, West Bromwich Albion 1. Derby took a great chance at the start of the end of the first half. Pretty much at the start of the game. They took the lead. And then West Brom, in the 94th minute, took the equaliser. Chris Mepham with a header into the back of the net. And West Brom take the equaliser and take the draw, of course. Looking at the table now, Derby back down to 8th, outside of the playoff spots. But West Brom, crucial points for those guys as they head up to 18th in the table. And, of course, go one step away from that relegation zone. But there we have it. Full time here at Pride Park. Derby 1, West Brom 1.
Scrap tonight, maybe the first suggestions that they can get themselves out of a potential real scrap at the bottom of the table. Max O'Leary with a difficult moment, gifting really Derby the opening goal of the game on his debut. But he didn't have that much work to do after that. It was not the most distinguished of tussles, but the rewards enjoyed, in particular, by those who have travelled east following West Bromwich Albion. Quite the battle at Pride Park. Andy Hinchcliffe, sum it up.
Well, it's one of the most ugly championship games we've seen this season. Derby looked in total control of it. West Brom hardly laid a glove on them in the second half, but they just kept believing, kept going. Bit of quality from a set piece, bit of aggression from Mepham. And that is a huge point for West Bromwich Albion when you consider how poor, how dreadfully poor they've been recently away from home.